Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast. I'm Raffi Adli Badiansyah, NIM 19250145. We are going to talk about something that has completely changed the way we live, work, and communicate to the internet. Uh, And to help us explore the topic, I have a special guest here with me. Please welcome Fatih Fathan Mubin.
Halo, halo, halo. Halo guys, halo guys, halo guys, halo guys. Okay. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Fatir Fakhan Mubin. Name 19250244. Yes, the internet is such a fantastic topic. And I believe everyone listening to us right now can relate to it because we use it literally every single day.
Absolutely. So let's start from the very basic of Fatir in your own words. What actually is the internet?
Well, simply put, the internet a massive global network that connects millions of computers and devices all around the world. It allows people to share information, communicate with each other, and access various services all in real time, no matter where you are.
That's great explanation. And it's really amazing when you think about how far we've come. Can you tell a little about this story of the internet? How did you start?
How did I start? Of course, the internet actually has its roots in the late 1916s with a project called ARPANET, which was developed by the United States Department of Defense. At first, at first, it was only used to connect a few universities and research centers, but over time, especially in the 1919, when the World Wide Web was introduced by a scientist named Tim Berners-Lee, it became available to the general public and started to grow extremely rapidly.
There's really interesting. So it begins a military and academic project and actually become we all know and use today. Now, how does the internet actually works? It's very complicated.
Well, in simple terms, the internet works by breaking data into small pieces called packets. These packets are sent through a network of router and server, and they travel to their destination using set of rules called protocols. The most common being TCP or IP, with standard of for transmission control protocol and internet protocol. When the packet arrive at their destination, they are reassembled back into the original data.
Wow, that's actually really smart. So every time I send message or open a website, all of that is happening behind the scan in just millisecond.
Exactly. It's incredibly fast and efficient, which is why we can stream videos, make video calls, and browse websites without much delay.
Alright, that's fair. About the benefits, the internet has definitely changed our life in so many ways. What do you think are the biggest advance of the internet?
There are so many to mention. First, it profits us with instant access to information. You can search for almost anything on Google and find the answer within seconds. Second, it has revolutionized communication through email, social media, and messaging online and messaging apps. We can connect with people anywhere instantly. Third, it has transformed education online learning platform and digital libraries make knowledge accessible to everyone. And fourth, it has created entire new industries like e-commerce, digital marketing, and online banking.
Those are excellent points. But the internet also have the dark side, right? We are some of the negative effect that we should be aware of.
That's a very important question. Yes, the internet does have its drawbacks. One major concern is privacy and cybersecurity. Hackers and cybercriminals can steal personal data, spread malware, or conduct phishing attacks. Another big issue is misinformation. False news and fake content can spread very quickly online. There's also the problem of social media addiction, especially among teenagers, which can negatively affect mental health. And of course, there are issues like cyberbullying and illegal content. Yeah.
So it's really a double-edged sword. Incredible, useful, but so potentially responsibly if we not careful.
Precisely. That's why digital literacy is so important. We need to educate ourselves and others on how to use the internet safely and responsibly.
Well, said before we wrap to up the segment, let's look ahead. Where do you think the internet is headed in the future?
I think the future is very exciting. We are designing the development of 5G network, which will make internet connection even faster and more reliable. There's also the concept of the Internet of Things or IoT, where everyday objects like refrigerators and cars are connected to internet. And with the rise of artificial intelligence or AI, the internet will become smarter and more personalized. I believe the internet will continue to evolve and shape every aspect of human life.
This is a very forward-thinking perspective. So, extensive in the internet started as a project connecting just a handful of computers, and now it connect billions of people, device, and service all around the world. It truly is the backbone of our modern digital life.
Absolutely. And you know what's the interesting? One of the very first applications ever built on a network like the internet, in fact, even before the public internet existed, is something we still rely on heavily every single day.
Oh, what are you referring to?
Email. The first email was actually sent over ARPANET back in 1971. The very same network we were just talking about. So you could say email and the internet basically grew up together.
Wow, that that's vanishing connected. I hadn't thought about before, and since you seem to know so much about email already, how about we switch things up? You take the whole seat, and I'll be your guest speaker for your next topic.
Huh? I love that idea. Alright, Rafi, hand me the mic.
It's all yours, Fatir. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving into our second topic with Fatir talking over your host.
Thank you. Alright, everyone. So as we just touched on, email is one of the oldest digital communication tools we have, and it's still one of the most widely used. Today, I'm very excited to explore this topic further with Rapi as my guest speaker. So let's dive right in, Rafi. For those who might not know in simple terms what exactly is email.
Great question. To kick things of email, switch stand to electronic email is a method of exchanging in the digital message between people using electronic device over is new network. It is one of the oldest, most widely used form of digital communication. Unlike instant messaging, email tends to be more formal and convenient, used to professional, academic, and personal correspondence.
That's a great definition. And science, we just mentioned is connection to ARPANET. Can you tell us more about the full history of email? When did it really all begin?
Email, which stand for electronic mail, is a method of exchanging digital messages between people using electronic device over a network. Is one if it's one of that oldest and most widely used form of digital communication. Unlike instant messaging, email tends to be more formal and is community used for professional, academic, and professional corporations.
Interesting. Can you tell us a bit about the history of email? When did it all begin, Rabi?
Yes, and we briefly mentioned before, the person behind that first email was a computer engineer named Ray Tomian. What's reliable is that he was also the one who introduced the symbol in email address, which we still use to this day. Back then, it was only used widely closed networks. It's once until the 1990, with the arrival of service like Hotmail and Yahoo Mail, that mail greatly expanded to popularity and become access to everyday people around the world.
Oh, so from ARPANET all the way to Gmail, email has come a really long way. Now, how does email actually work behind the scenes when I press send?
Great question. When you send an email, your email client like Gmail or Outlook, second it to email server using a protocol called SMTP, which stand for Simple Email Transfer Protocol. The mail server then routes the email to the Reclipse email server. When the Reclipse opens their inbox, their email client remove the message using other POP3 or IMAP protocol. The entries process usually takes just a few seconds.
That's really fantastic. I never realized there were so many steps involved every time we hit send. What are the main benefits of using email, especially in a professional or academic setting?
Email has so many advantages. Yes, first, it's a very efficiency and fast. You can send document and file to everyone in the world almost instant. Second, in create and read record of a community, which is very useful for future reference. Three, email is secondly a free professional in business and academics. Is the it is the standard in channel for formal community. Four is allow you communicate with multiple people at once using feature like CC and BCC. And five, it is accessible access in different platform and device.
Oh, those are really great points. Are there also some challenges or problems with email that people should be aware of?
Definitely, one of the biggest problem is spam. Unwanted unlicensed email the fill your inbox. Many to test or enforcement of even phishing attempts, where cyber criminal try to reach to into recycling your personal information. There's also the issue of small overload. Many professional recently bounce rate of email per day, which can the very overwhelming, and email security is a serious concern. Since without paper encrypt, emails can perfectly the intricate.
So, email security is really critical, right? What tips would you give to someone to stay safe using email?
I would suggest a few key tips. First, never click on some question links or open enable to structured authenticator. Three, always check the certain email address. Careful before replying. For email, use email service and other built-in spam filtering and encrypt. And five, the network on the personal information you share via email.
Excellent advice. One final question, Rapi. With so many new communication tools today like WhatsApp, Slack, and social media, do you think email is still relevant?
Absolutely. It helped that the spending the price of instant messaging platform email remains one of the most important communication tools in the world. In professional and academic important. It is still the most formal and official channel. In fact, is estimated that over 3,000 videos now are sent very single day regularly. Email is definitely not going away. It continues to every day with new feature and like AI powered uh, smart replace and automatically security.
Oh, 300 billion email every day? That's an incredible number. It really shows just how essential email remains in our daily life. Thank you so much, Rafi, for your very detailed and insightful explanation about email.
Thank you for having me as the guest this time. It was a really wonderful experience.
And to you all, amazing listener, thank you so much for just joining us today on our podcast. We truly hope you learned something new and interesting about the internet and email. Until next time, goodbye and take care. Bye bye.